Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
Releases, hirings, firings. Ladies and gentlemen, statements being made here on SeanzViewEnt, where we score with the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive. Without you, there is no SeanzView. We serve it up because we truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. It's so important to become a channel member today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those wrestling news cycles where every headline feels like it came out of a locked office, a deleted tweet, a cryptic Instagram story, in a backstage hallway nobody was supposed to be standing in. But first off, we got breaking news. The AEW Collision, a huge upset and more Forbidden Door matches set. All Elite Wrestling taped this Saturday's edition of AEW Collision last night, guys. And, well, for those of you that don't like spoilers, well, you know what? No, we're not going to do that here. But I just want to say that there was a massive upset, a huge upset. Again, we're not going to give away the AEW Collision spoilers right here and right now. But in action was Pac, Mystico, the Hurt Syndicate, Chris Jericho, and Zack Sabre Jr., and Adam Priest. Also, Maya and ROH Women's World Champion Athena were in action. The Young Bucks and Jack Perry were in action. So there you go, viewers, fans, subscribers. A little bit of a rundown of the card. Also, Chris Statlander and Mina all in action for Collision. But again, I am not going to give out the spoilers here. Even though we talk about rumors, gossip, speculation, and hearsay, one of the things I don't like to do is spoil the results. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have WWE issuing a statement connected to Alexa Bliss. What's this mean for releases in the WWE? Where has Joe Hendry been? What about Drew McIntyre? Are there going to be releases in the WWE? Are there going to be more firings? Are they going to go to TNA Wrestling after all the releases and wrestlers asking for their release in TNA Wrestling? We have WWE reportedly having no plans again for a White House show despite all the recent fan speculation. We have Drew McIntyre release rumors picking up steam again. And again, we have WWE issuing a statement connected to Alexa Bliss. We have Joe Hendry addressing why he has been missing from WWE television from the Austin Theory attack. And then over in TNA Wrestling, Allie has officially signed with TNA ahead of her Slammiversary title match. Yes, Allie has officially signed. We all remember her as the Bunny in AEW. So yes, this is one of those reports where WWE, TNA, and social media speculation and backstage rumors are all crashing into each other at the same damn time. So then we start with the line that got people talking. Thank you for your service, Alexa Bliss. So yes, this is one of those reports where thank you for your service. That phrase alone, thank you for your service. Again, viewers, maybe we're looking at this more than meets the eye, but that phrase alone is enough to send wrestling fans into absolute panic mode, okay? Because in wrestling, nobody hears thank you for your service and thinks, well, that sounds normal. No. Fans immediately start asking questions. Is someone gone? Is someone being written off? Is this a tribute? Is this a goodbye? Is this a storyline language? Is this a corporate language? Is this a TKO cut? Is there going to be more roster cuts? Joe Hendry, Drew McIntyre, Alexa Bliss, potentially, perhaps. Or is WWE trying to say something without fully saying it? And when word is attached, and when the name attached is Alexa Bliss, you already know that the internet is going to dissect every single word. Alexa Bliss is not a random name on the roster. She is one of the most recognizable women WWE has had in modern history. She has been champion. She has been a major character. She has been one of the strongest fan bases in the women's division. She even reinvented herself more than once, and she has gone. She has done the goddess character, the doctor character work, the supernatural presentation, and everything in between. So when WWE issues any kind of statement around Alexa Bliss, especially one that sounds emotional, final, or a strange, fans do not just scroll past it. They freeze. They screenshot. They repost. They start connecting the dots. Speculation starts running up. Because now WWE fans are asking the obvious question. Is Alexa Bliss's WWE future in trouble? Now, let me be clear. There is no official confirmation at this hour that Alexa Bliss has been released from the WWE unless WWE directly announces it. But again, When does the WWE ever announce releases on their website anymore? It's all coming from backstage. It's all coming from those in the know. It's all coming from the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. No longer does WWE even say the announcements of the releases on WWE.com. Remember when everything used to be on WWE.com? Not so much anymore. But this is a dirt sheet style conversation, and in wrestling, speculation is part of the machine, along with rumors, gossip, and innuendo. The statement happened, the wording got attention, the rumors are spreading, the fans are reacting, and now everybody is trying to figure out whether WWE is setting up something, hiding something, or simply letting the internet run wild. And the thing is, WWE know how fans react. They know that fans read every word. They know that fans track bios. They know that fans notice unfollows. They know fans inspect likes. They know that fans can turn one vague line into a full-blown theory before SmackDown even goes off the air tomorrow night on the USA Network on a Friday night. So when WWE says something like, thank you for your service, fans are going to treat it like a clue. And with Alexa Bliss, the timing makes it even louder. Because for a long time, fans have been wondering where Alexa Bliss fits in the current WWE landscape without Bray Wyatt and with the whole Wyatt Six family being removed from WWE. Does Triple H still see her as a top woman star? Is there a major return planned? Is she being saved for a surprise? Is creative waiting for the right moment, or has WWE quietly shifted focus on other names? That is the debate. And now, because of this statement, the debate has gotten much bigger. But Alexa Bliss is not the only major WWE name being dragged into release speculation, because Drew McIntyre is now a part of the conversation too. And that is where the story gets even more dangerous and volatile. Drew McIntyre and Alexa Bliss WWE release rumors have become a major talking point online over the last several hours, with fans claiming that there are hints and teasers popping up across social media. Now, whether or not those are real, misread, exaggerated, or just given full extensive detective mode, the conversation is happening online in real time. And as we all know, SeanzView comes to you in real time because I do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Because Drew McIntyre is not just some minor roster name. Here is a former Royal Rumble winner. Here is a man that main evented at headline WrestleMania, defeated Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania. Again, former world champion. This is a WrestleMania level main eventer. The man that WWE leaned on during one of the strangest periods in company history. During the pandemic era, Drew McIntyre was the guy. He was on fire. He was carrying the belt. He was carrying the brand. He was, well, carrying the WWE on his back. He was cutting promos in empty arenas. He was trying to make WWE feel important when the world was shut down. So when fans hear that WWE has no plans to bring Drew McIntyre back anytime soon, they immediately start asking, is this injury related? Is this creative? Or is Drew McIntyre going to Hollywood? There's been a lot of rumor and gossip about Drew McIntyre going to Hollywood and putting WWE on the back burner. Or is WWE actually considering moving on from Drew McIntyre? That is why this Drew McIntyre rumor actually has teeth. Because Drew disappearing from major plans would not feel normal to fans. It would feel intentional, and then when something feels intentional, wrestling fans start digging. Now again, nothing is official until WWE says it. Drew McIntyre has not officially been released until WWE confirms it. Alexa Bliss has not been officially released until WWE confirms it. But this is modern wrestling. Something that, well, when the smoke comes before the fire, sometimes the smoke is just smoke, and sometimes the smoke is a fan with a flashlight and a Twitter account. But either way, people are talking online. Roster decisions feel more corporate. Creative decisions feel more calculated. Talent disappearances feel more suspicious. And when the major star is not being used, fans do not just assume maybe they are taking a break. They assume something is happening. This is the TKO era that we are in, ladies and gentlemen. Everything feels sharper, everything feels colder, and everything feels more business first. So when you put Alexa Bliss and Drew McIntyre in the same rumor cycle, it sounds like a massive roster storm could be coming. It could be like a tornado. It could be like a volcano erupting. And that brings us to another strange WWE headline. WWE reportedly has no plans for a White House show like UFC just had. Do you agree or disagree with this? So, of course, wrestling fans start asking, could WWE do a White House show? Could WWE run a special patriotic event? Could WWE do some kind of historic event? Could WWE follow the UFC-style mainstream spectacle route? Could TKO push WWE into places wrestling has never gone before? And look, on paper, it sounds insane, but modern WWE has made a lot of things feel possible. WWE is on Netflix. WWE is under TKO. Both those things a lot of people didn't want happening. WWE is connected to UFC, and WWE is playing in a much bigger entertainment world now. So fans hear White House show, WWE, and suddenly pictures a wild spectacle. Red, white, and blue stage, mainstream headlines, celebrity appearances, political reactions, a massive media circus. But according to the report, WWE has no current plans for that kind of event at this hour. But again, never say never. Remember, WWE is entertainment, but WWE is also storyline. Every segment gets interpreted, every promo gets clipped, every angle becomes a debacle. And if you put that machine anywhere near politics, the reaction would be nuclear. Some fans would love it, some fans would hate it, and everybody would argue about it. So for now, WWE reportedly will be staying away from a White House show, and well, that makes sense. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Hendry has just addressed his absence from WWE television from following the Austin Theory attack on Raw several weeks ago. And this one is fascinating because Joe Hendry is one of those names where the audience reacts, and that reaction tells you everything you got to know. Fans believe in Joe Hendry. Literally, the man turned a catchphrase into a movement. He turned entrance music into a viral weapon. He became one of the rare wrestling acts that can walk into another company's television and immediately feel important. So when Joe Hendry appeared in WWE-related crossover moments, fans expected momentum. They expected follow-up. They expected WWE to capitalize. Then came the Austin Theory attack, and after that, fans started wondering, where is Joe Hendry? We haven't seen him. We haven't heard from him. Has he been released? Has he been fired? Is he gone? What is going on? Why has he not been back on WWE TV? Was the attack meant to write him off? Is WWE saving him? Is TNA holding him back? Is this crossover now limited? Is there a bigger reveal coming, or did WWE cool off on the idea? Now, Joe Hendry addressing that absence adds more fuel to that fire and that desire. Because when someone gets that kind of audience reaction, you cannot just let it sit forever. If WWE waits too long, the hype cools. If TNA waits too long, which he's pretty much moved on from TNA, but now TNA seems like they're in a resurgence. It's in a rebuilding phase for TNA. If both companies drag it out without the payoff, fans might start feeling like they got teased for nothing. But if they start saving Joe Hendry for something bigger, that would be huge. Maybe Austin Theory attack was not the end of the story. Maybe it was the beginning. Maybe WWE wanted fans to ask where Hendry went. They wanted people to start, going online and letting their comments and their emotions. But if you bring Joe Hendry back at the right time, that pop, well, it's going to be strong. The song hits, the crowd sings, the camera cuts to the reaction, and suddenly the crossover feels alive again. But if there is no follow-up, then fans will say WWE wasted it. That is the risk. And this brings us directly into TNA Wrestling, because TNA is not just part of the Joe Hendry conversation. TNA also has a major signing on its hands. Again, as Allie has officially signed with TNA Wrestling ahead of Slammiversary, one of the biggest TNA pay-per-views of the year. Because companies do not usually make that kind of announcement right before a major title match unless they want fans paying attention. And when you're dealing with Slammiversary, one of TNA's biggest shows, that matters. So now the question becomes, is Allie winning? Is TNA setting up a major knockouts division shakeup? Is this the start of a bigger run? Is this the Undead Realm story coming back into a stronger way? Is Rosemary going to be involved? Is TNA using Allie's return to blend old school TNA storytelling with the current knockouts division? That is where this gets fun, because Allie has history in TNA. Fans remember the character. Fans remember the connection to Rosemary. Fans remember the darker storytelling. Fans remember the weird supernatural TNA flavor that made the company different. And that is something TNA should lean into. TNA should not try to be WWE. TNA should not try to be AEW. TNA works best when it remembers what made it stand out. Characters, chaos, knockouts, underdog energy, weird stories, surprise signings, and moments that make fans say, wait, what is going on over there? Allie signing ahead of Slammiversary gives TNA exactly that, because let me tell you right now, TNA does need some steam. They need some gas, okay? Because TNA has kind of been in the trenches over the last several days, let me tell you. It has not been easy if you've been a TNA fan. I can assure you of that. Viewers, fans, and subscribers, and hell, even the dividers that want to show up here on this very show. We give you the opportunity. We give you the choice. We give you the chance of a lifetime. But that simply is not all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, WWE, ex-WWE champion, guys, an ex-WWE champion has no chance in hell of returning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are receiving word right now, not a chance in hell unless it's a camo, and I doubt they even do that, about Vince McMahon returning to the company. Again, viewers, it all boils down to your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on each and every one of those things that we just addressed, even though people are hoping and praying and crossing their fingers that Vince McMahon, that the Mr. McMahon character comes alive in the WWE once again. Again, never say never. That's all I got to say about that. Subscribe with plenty more to come from the Brash One.